Welcome to The Explainer. So you're thinking about teaching English in Thailand, huh? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know, from how much you can actually make to the one critical question that'll tell you if this is really the right move for you. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is this whole thing a dream job, or is it just a dead end? To figure that out, we're not just guessing. We're diving into the real, honest insights from someone who has actually lived it. Yeah, our guide for this whole thing is a qualified teacher, education degree, TEFL certificate, the works, who spent 4 years, you heard that right, 4 years, teaching all across the Thai school system. From government schools to fancy private ones, they've seen it all. So their perspective is going to be our roadmap. Okay, first things first. Before you start picturing yourself on a tropical beach on the weekend, let's talk about the practical stuff. What do you actually need to even get your foot in the door for a teaching job in Thailand? So to get a work permit, the absolute bare minimum is a university degree, and get this, it can be in literally any field. On top of that, you'll pretty much always need what's called a TEFL or TESOL certificate. And as for experience, well, it definitely helps, but believe it or not, it's not always a deal breaker when you're just getting started. But, and this is a big but, if you've got your eyes set on those better paying jobs at the top tier schools, then having a formal teaching qualification, like an actual education degree or a PGCE, that's what's going to shoot you to the top of the list. All right, here's something else you've got to know. Where your passport is from really matters. Schools basically put teachers into 2 buckets, native and non-native English speakers. And if your passport doesn't put you in that first group, you'll likely have to prove your English skills by passing a test, like the TOEIC, every couple of years. Okay, so you've got your qualifications sorted out. You've got the toolkit. Now for the big decision. Where are you actually going to work? And trust me, this choice is huge. It's going to shape almost everything about your day-to-day life over there. You've basically got 4 main options. There are the Thai government schools, private bilingual schools, the really prestigious international schools, and then you have after-school language centers. And let me tell you, each one is its own little universe. We're talking completely different culture, workload, and of course, a totally different salary. Now, those language centers, they're an interesting trade-off. Your hours during the week might be way more flexible, which sounds great, but here's the catch. You'll almost certainly be working on Saturdays and Sundays, so that might mean giving up a few of those weekend beach trips you were dreaming about. And now for the question that's on everybody's mind. What can you actually earn? This is where your choice of school makes a massive, massive financial difference. The financial reality is pretty stark. If you're working in a government or a bilingual school, you're typically looking at a monthly salary between 35 and 50,000 Thai baht. But if you land a job at an international school, that range jumps a lot. It starts around 55,000 and can go way, way over 150,000 baht for really qualified teachers. But look, we all know a life abroad is never just about the paycheck, right? It's about the entire experience. So let's get real for a minute and weigh the good against the bad. The pros are pretty significant. We're talking about an incredible quality of life in a country that's both beautiful and really safe. But the cons, they're just as serious. You have to expect long work days, like 7 a.m. to past 4 p.m. is totally normal. And maybe the biggest challenge is the lack of long-term security. Your visa is tied directly to your job, and there's no clear path to permanent residency or citizenship. So after laying all that out, what's the final verdict here? When it comes right down to it, is teaching in Thailand actually worth doing? You might be surprised to hear this, but the answer is a surprisingly definite yes, 100%. It's described as one of the best things you can do. But, and this is a really, really big but, it all comes down to one crucial thing. See, the real answer depends completely on why you want to go in the first place. Your personal motivation, your why, that is the single most important factor in all of this. You need to figure out if you're on what we can call the traveler's path. You're there for a couple of years, you want to see the world, and you spend your salary on flights and new experiences. Or are you on the builder's path? Are you there to try and build a life, save money, maybe buy a car, and plan for a future? Because those 2 paths lead to completely different lives, even on the exact same salary. Ultimately, knowing your why before you even pack your bags is the most important thing. It's going to determine how you live, how you spend your money, and how you even measure your own success. It's what transforms the question from, is it worth it, to, is it worth it for me? And well, that's a question that only you can answer.